It's interesting, isn't it, Jamie? Two sporting directors, we heard their roles are different, but they will work together. Frank's not new to it at all, but do you have any concerns about how it might work?
Well, who has the final say? You know, because obviously Johan, I think, will like a certain type of player, and Fabio is going to like a certain type of player as well. So say, I feel like...
Frank.
Yeah, Thomas Frank's got to be surely the guy that has the final say on things, and whether they can come to an agreement. But look, I know Johan, he's a great guy. He knows his stuff. He's very data-driven. He's very, analytical about what he wants to achieve with a group of players and who he thinks fits the right. And you've seen that with players that he's brought in. Fabio, I feel like, I don't know him, but it seems a bit more old school, a bit more, let's get a deal done, let's get this player in, we want him, let's make it happen. And I think he's done all right as well. To have him back, look, if they can make it work, it's great, right? Two jobs is, I think if you can get them both working in cohesion, surely that's got to be good for Spurs.
Do you think Spurs fans will be happy to see Paratici back?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he's brought in some good players, and I think he's one of them people who, as you said, he's got a phone book with some good contacts in it. So I think you need that at a club. I think you need someone who, is in with certain individuals, and you can get things over the line. You can make things happen. If he picks up the phone and says, "I want this player," or "We want that deal," they answer the phone. I don't know if Johan has got that or can do that. But having that experience with people and knowing people in the game in high places is an asset.
And we heard recently, didn't we, that the ENIC have announced £100 million of new investment. You would assume a lot of that will be directed towards strengthening the squad.
Let's hope so.
Where do they need to strengthen?
Semenyo. Go and buy Semenyo. That's it. He is, for me...
Answer to everything, is he?
That's it.
Antoine Semenyo.
Semenyo is the player. He's the player that we should go and buy. For me, he's fantastic. Xavi Simons is having to play on the left. We want Xavi Simons playing in the middle. If you go and sign a Semenyo, I think then Tottenham are not far off being a really, really good side. Look, there's obviously places you can strengthen. Everyone wants to strengthen. Can we get another striker? Richarlison, Solanke, are they up to it? Are they good enough? Probably not. But for me, if I look at one place and I go, that is a player that we need, that is a player I want at Tottenham, Semenyo's top class.
He's a player, isn't he?
Yeah.
I tell you what, let's take a little walk, Jamie. Come with me, because we're going to have a little look at...
Get rid of me already, Jules.
No, you're always welcome here, after you. So, Paratici's second spell, he was there for a couple of years beforehand. 16 new signings he brought in.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a little game of hit and miss. Go through all the new players he brought in. This is the first day. We're going to start with free transfers and loans, and you'll see the transfer fees increase as we go on. So let's start with Fraser Forster. Hit or miss?
I think it's a miss. He hardly played. So, he's a free transfer, so I guess... In that sense, he's a backup, but I wouldn't say he was anything special.
Even Perisic, free transfer from Inter?
I'd say a miss again. He had moments, but I just felt like he wasn't good enough for us.
Loan signings always a bit difficult, but Clement Longley, what impact did he have?
No, he was a big miss. He was poor. I was expecting more from him from Barcelona. He wasn't good enough.
Danjuma?
Terrible. Big miss. That was a miss. It's not been a good start.
No, it's not. 4 misses. And I don't think it's going to change, is it, with Pierluigi Golini?
I don't even know who that is.
Right, OK, let's move swiftly on there. Dejan Kulusevski now, Tom.
Yeah, that's a massive hit.
Yeah.
It gets better. Yeah. When we start actually, paying some money for people, it says loan there, but we've ended up signing him permanently. Great player, and he's been a big loss to us. He's been injured.
Now, Jed Spence, if we'd been stood here, 12 months ago, might have gone down as a miss. But what do you say now?
No, he's a massive hit. He's playing for England. What a player. Fair play to him. He's stuck at it. He's got his chance and he's deserved his opportunity, and now he's looking like a player who, is an absolute starter for us week in, week out. So that's a massive hit.
Papa Sarr, £14.6 million.
Yeah.
Hit or miss?
That was a hit. At the start, I was wasn't sure if he was good enough. He was a bit rash, but he was young. This season, for me, he's shown that he is a top player, and his energy in midfield, his bite, the modern game now where you've got to be up and down, you've got to be everywhere. I think he's a massive.
And actually, for £14.6 million, it's a bargain in the Premier League terms.
You could sell him for 50, 60 million if you wanted to now, easy.
Yeah. Let's move on to the second page then. As I say, the transfer fee's getting bigger here. Destiny Udogie, £15 million. Hit or miss?
Yeah, I'd have to say hit. I thought he was really good under Ange. He had his moments, he got injured. This season, Spencer's kept him out of the team. But again, for £15 million, he's a great player. Great signing.
And Rodrigo Bentancur, $20 million.
Yeah, I'm not convinced with Bentancur. Everyone loves him, but I'm not. I want to see more from him, and I think he's got more in him. I think he frustrates me sometimes, but he is a really good player. We got him from Juventus, and for £20 million, that's a no-brainer. You'd have to say hit.
So actually, Paratici unearthed some gems, didn't he, for not a lot of money, and the three you just covered. But then we come to Brian Keel, $21 million.
Yeah, that was a stinker. Yeah, that one was...
That's not one of our categories. Hit this or stinker. OK.
That one was not a good one. Yeah. Look, he signed for 21 million. He showed signs of brilliance, but no, he just wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough.
Emerson Royale from Barca.
Yeah. He had his moments, you know, Jules. He did have some moments. Coming from Barcelona, there was a lot of hype around him thinking it's a Barcelona right back. You know, are we signing the next Dani Alves?
Yeah.
And it was the complete opposite. I'd say miss.
A lot of these players obviously have moved on.
Yeah.
Yves Bissouma still there. What do you say?
Well, he's been binned off by Thomas Frank, hasn't he? He's got rid of him, and I think it's more down to his application to being a footballer than his actual ability. Because ability-wise, Bissouma's amazing. I watched him play some games, and he's run the show. But obviously, his application to being a footballer hasn't been the best, and Thomas Frank is not going to accept it. I think he turns up late. Thomas Frank weren't having it. You know, and I always think as a football player, if you're turning up late for a meeting or you're turning up late for training, well, you're going to turn up late for the cross. You're going to turn up late for when the ball goes in the 6-yard box and I need you there. That's how managers think. And if you're like that and your application's not there, then you can't be in the side. And he's learnt the hard way. So I like him as a player, and I think he was probably a good signing, but you'd have to say miss.
Right, let's come down to the final three of Paratici's signings first time round. Pedro Porro, £39 million, hit or miss?
Yeah, we paid good money for him, but I'd say hit. You know, he's a starter, right? He plays every game. You know, he's an absolute hit. Scores goals. He's a good player in the team. He can have some great games. Yeah, he can have his moments, but for £40 million, he's a top player.
No question over the answer you're going to give for this one. Romero, £42 million.
Probably one of the best signings we've made in the last 20 years. I mean, he's now the captain. What a player. I mean, you've got Atletico Madrid trying to sign him for £70 million. We're not letting him go. That's what he means to this football club. World Cup winner, leader in the dressing room, born to be on a football pitch and lead a side. Probably one of the best centre-halves we've seen at Tottenham.
Last name on the list there, and the most money spent by Paratici. £60 million to Everton for Richarlison. Hit or miss?
Look, when we signed him, I think everyone believed that he was a good signing. He'd done a brilliant job at Everton, kept him in the Premier League. He was a one-man band. He's not produced. He's not produced at all.
Not been helped by injuries, has he?
No, injuries haven't helped, but when he's been fit... Look, he started the season OK this season. He's done all right, and I think he's probably starting. I would have to say, for what we spent for £60 million, it's a massive miss. It's a shame, because he's got some talent.
So overall, in these 16 names we've seen that Paratici signed, are you reassured to have him back at your club?
Yeah, I think, look, if you look at it and you go 50-50, I mean, I'd like to see what Man United's ones are. Do you know, like players they've brought in, how many of them have been hits? You know, so I think, you know, you're going to have some ones that don't work out. You're going to have players that, you know, that fail to deliver. But I think over the course of what he's got, a lot of these players are starting in Tottenham's team now. And how many years are we on? You know, maybe 3 or 4 years on. You know, so, you know, you'd have to argue that he's done a good job.